and welcome into the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Podcast. My name is Andrew Laird, Senior Soccer Editor of RotoWire. Joined on this Friday, January 29th by Jordan Cooper to talk about Saturday's Premier League slate. First off, Jordan, congrats on the GPP hit on Tuesday. I have a feeling you could build almost the same lineup for Saturday, even though prices are a little different. You're going to be tempted, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, it was hard not to build the lineup I did. It's not like exactly what we talked about on the podcast. But everyone on Man City is too cheap, so why not just play all of them?
I saw somebody tweet at us like, "Wow!" When it was a response to your tweet with the lineup in it, and they were like, "Wow, that's just what you talked about on the podcast." And it's like, "Yep, that's all it was."
It wasn't my cash lineup. My cash lineup didn't have all of that in it. I still did well in cash games, but essentially the only difference was that instead of playing Bernardo Silva, I played Ederson, and then had to pay down for John Stones, and it's all. And I now have two defenders, and now I have all the correlation, and I played Valeri over Vokins, and pretty much it was Rafinha, Valeri, and 6 Man City players, including Ederson, and there. Didn't even have Gundogan. Didn't even need him.
I'll say specifically on that slate, John Stones much better than John Stone.
Yes, similar name. I had John Stone in cash.
Me too.
Right.
John Stone kept me from cashing.
You didn't get there? How did you not get there?
Because I had him -7 from my goalkeeper.
Yeah, but who did you play that it prevented you from that? Did you play Rafinha?
Yeah, I played Ward-Prowse over Gundogan.
Okay. You played Foden? You played Sterling? You played Mahrez?
No, I played Saka over Sterling.
Didn't you say on the podcast that Saka why played 9,400 for Saka?
Like repeatedly.
Right. I was trying to convince you that Saka was a viable, like that, and that I was considering, and then it still came down to these Man City guys are too cheap. So like, why am I paying? I hear you in my head, and I'm like, well, why am I doing that?
Yeah, it was.
I get why you played Saka. It's not like people didn't play Saka, and Saka put up 20+ points.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
But when Mahrez and Sterling combined for 2 goals together for each other, and then you don't need them anymore.
Right. Mistakes were made. Somebody did tell me that they played I don't even know what his first name is. Andy, maybe? Langren, the third string keeper.
Played the back. Right. You could have just took a 0.
I should have. Literally should have.
Yeah, but it goes along with your brand, Andrew.
Yeah.
You got -7 from your goalkeeper, so the brand is alive.
Yeah, I was going to say that my credibility definitely takes a hit if I start to cash with goalkeepers doing well. So you got to do what you got to do.
My brand. My brand is I make a mistake in one of my outfield players and I get 18 points from my goalkeeper and then luck out.
Right. But yeah, brands are more important than winning. So that's what we'll keep going with. We have a unicorn slate here.
3 games at the same time. Yes.
You know what's going to be really funny when we talk on Tuesday, or whatever the next slate is? We're like, man, that late swap would have been nice if we had it.
Right. I almost expected them to add the United Arsenal game to it.
I think because that's like a reasonable, like exciting showdown that they can get away with not putting it on this slate.
Right, but I'm perfectly fine with 3 games at the same time. And it's a classic Man City slate where in the 3 games we got Man City -764 at home to Sheffield United, one of, if not the worst team in the league. 3.25 total. Then we got 2 low total games. We have Fulham are a +134 away favorite to West Brom. When are you ever going to see Fulham as an away favorite? Let alone a home favorite, but even a away favorite. That's a 2.5 total. 2.25. It's coming down. And then we got Wolves are a +162 away favorite to Palace, and that total is 2. It's going to maybe be less than 2.
Yeah.
So let's ask the question that we ask on it seems like half of these podcasts. How much Man City is too much Man City?
I think we have to change the question.
We do?
Yeah. I think, so like they played West Brom earlier in the week. West Brom are 19th in the table. They now play Sheffield United, who are 20th in the table. So I think instead of how much Man City is too much, I think the real question is, why are you not playing 6 Man City players?
Oh, so the question is not how little is too little Man City?
Yes. And
right. It's almost the other way.
So the Man City prices are much higher than they were on whatever that was, Tuesday. I will argue they're all still underpriced.
No, I agree with you. And we may see some rotation that makes the players that are in even less priced than they even should be.
Yes, like we'll go through obviously all the positions, but like the Man City backups should be priced where the starters are, and the starters should be 2,000 more. Just based on the context of the slate. Like not in a vacuum, but like on this slate. This is one of the biggest favorites you're going to see all year. And the fact that there are other players in like price tiers similar is nuts.
Right, it's nuts. I mean, if we get a traditional starting lineup, which Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, you could still play all 3 of them in a lineup. But with them playing on Tuesday, we may get Gabriel Jesus starting up top, 6,800. Ferran Torres in the front line for 7,300. And it's not like they're going to be in with Sterling and Mahrez.
Right.
They're going to be in instead of Sterling and Mahrez, which means it's quite possible that the 2 most expensive Man City players you don't even play them because they're not in.
They're not in, right.
Right. But then even if they are, like, why are you paying 10-4 for Pedro Neto? Why are you paying 8,100 for Ademola Lookman?
I mean, you could say it about everybody. Not that we play. I mean, there are times where we play Zaha and cash. Mm-hmm. It's never at 9,000.
Never at 9,000.
Let alone
500 more.
Right. So I mean, I think it's the exact same as Tuesday, except we have fewer teams to choose from, and the real consideration is what players do you take from the other games?
Right. Pretty much. I think a defender. I think the defender we may have maybe a different construction, but I think from if you're not filling your 2 forward spots with Man City players, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
I mean you're probably filling midfield spots also, but like I'm just saying, like in a vacuum, you'd say okay, on a different slate like Townsend or Eze, Easy could be viable, but they're 7,900 and 7,500. And then you look and you go on a different slate, maybe Caballero at 6,600 is like, okay, I could do with that. But like if Jesus and Torres and Bernardo Silva at 7,200, like how do you, like you just look at this and go like some of these Man City guys are cheaper than the worst players on the slate.
Right. It's weird because the whole conversation for the Tuesday slate was that they were so cheap. They were underpriced. They shouldn't be priced like this. And they like essentially corrected it, that they're now more expensive. And they're still right.
Corrected in because really what it should be, I mean, we take a look, like Foden is 10-1. Foden probably should be 11,000.
Yeah.
So he's closer, but we said that about the last slate, that him at 8,800 was like the most correct price Man City player. But still, like Mahrez should be 10.5 and Sterling should be 11,000. I mean, on the context of this slate specifically, and then the guys like Jesus, it should be 8,800, and Bernardo should be 8,200, and Torres should be 8,500.
Right.
And then depending on who starts, it's like, well, you're playing 3 of them, and then finding stuff in other games.
Yep.
But now you don't have to just play 3 of them; you can play 6 of them. Right?
including Ederson.
And yes, including Ederson.
Yeah, it's I was just looking back at the cheat sheet from Tuesday. Man City's implied total is almost exactly the same.
Right. And the two other games on this slate are even lower totals than the other slate.
They're both. Let's see. The Palace Wolves game is way lower than anything we saw on Tuesday, and only one game Tuesday was lower than Fulham West Brom. Like the nice thing we had on the Tuesday slate was if Man City didn't explode, like you had Leeds, and Leeds can always like put up huge scores. Arsenal maybe, West Ham maybe, but like a down Man City game is still better than a ceiling game from Fulham, West Brom, Wolves, or Crystal Palace.
Right.
Like there's no reason. I mean, obviously the reason to go off of Man City is because everyone's on Man City, but like there's really not a whole lot to go on for the other games.
Right, but if Man City fails and only wins 1-0 and you get the goal scorers for the other games, then sure. I mean, you have to pay if you want to play Benteke, if you want to play is Willian Jose, is he in the pool yet?
Yeah, he is.
6,500, or something like that. I mean, yeah, I guess you can. But you're not getting a discount. It's like you're replacing an underpriced Man City player with that guy.
Right.
So it's like you have to make you're betting on Man City failing more so than you feel like Wolves are going to win 3-0.
Exactly.
Wolves win 3-0 and Man City wins 4-0. You're still dead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right.
Right. It doesn't matter that you got the same amount of points for the same price. And why didn't you just stack Man City?
When I was writing my article, like I try to at least lay out some different paths. So I was like, Carlin Grant at 3,900 might start, so you can fill a forward spot. But it's like you're filling a forward spot with Carlin Grant, so you could play one of the Man City forwards in a midfield spot. Like you're not doing anything different. Like
right, you might as well play a $3,900 defender or a midfielder. Who cares?
Just play John Stones.
Right. Or play John Stone.
Right.
At the midfield spot, can you make a case that you don't have to play Foden at 10-1?
I don't think Foden is actually the conversation. Is Gundogan necessary?
I'm not doing 8,600. Really? I don't care that he's scoring goals now. 8,600 is stupid for that. Come on.
Like 8,600 with no set pieces.
Right. Right. Zinchenko was taking them at the end of the game.
Right, yeah, when Foden came off, although Gundogan came off with him. So that was the most tilting thing about Gundogan, is that if you told me before the slate that he was going to take 2 shots and go off in the 53rd minute, I'd be like, awesome. Of course I'm not playing him. 2 goals on 2 shots.
Right, it's 7,100, right. You're like, there's no way I play this guy.
Like, I saw how old he was, and I was just like, people are just, this is like game log watching at its peak. And then he scores twice.
Well, you know what's going to happen on Saturday then? Another 2 goals, right? Right?
It has to.
Right, but there's no. Gundogan is not making my lineup.
Like I said in the Discord, I was like, I can't believe I'm actually looking at my lineup, my cash lineup, and being like, do I want to play James Ward-Prowse or Ilkay Gundogan? And I'm just like, how am I possibly having this thought? And I was like, right. I'm playing Ward-Prowse. Obviously, I'm playing Ward-Prowse. And Gundogan scored like 3 minutes in, didn't he?
Yeah. I was
just like,
But you're not paying up on this slate for like a Pereira at 7,600 if he starts for West Brom. To me, on this slate in an optimal lineup, I ain't paying up for anyone that's not a Man City player. Like, I'm not paying any type of premium for anything.
I don't think that's I think Pereira at 7,600 is efficient.
No, I think it's efficient, but...
I don't even want to pay an efficient price.
Right. Well, that's the point. Like, the Man City guys are too cheap, so, like, why am I paying an efficient price for an 8-point to 10-point floor?
Yeah.
Right? In a game that's going to have no goals in it. If Ferran Torres starts up top, like, easy. Just give me Torres. Give me Silva. This is just... It's stupid. I think that the one that we get down to my favorite player.
Matinho?
To fill a midfield spot is Joe Matinho.
Yeah. Excuse me. No way you play him.
I think you're probably playing one of these guys in like the 5,500, like this range.
It depends what you do at defense.
Yes. But I think you could play Matinho. I think you could play if Snodgrass or Grzycki's in, someone like that.
Yep.
If Pereira's not in, I guess you could make a case for Conor Gallagher or something like that. Probably not playing anyone on Sheffield. I don't care how they line up.
Yeah, no.
Right. Harrison Reed, depending on the Fulham lineup. Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
I was going to say Loftus-Cheek. Like, I looked at the other games and pretty much just, like, went to the bottom of the salary pool and was like, who can I fill in? And the fact that there are, like, playable guys, like Loftus-Cheek's one of them. If Matt Phillips starts, like, he's only 3,200, and we'll know because all the games start at the same time, and it's the only one slate of games. It's almost like we're not going to know what to do.
But even you could make a case for Leandro Dendocker, even if you wanted to play him for some apparent reason.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you're going for the cheap guy. Like you said, there's no reason to pay up for anybody from these teams.
Right.
But yeah, they're guys. They're literally just fillers.
Right. You're looking to get 5 points from someone.
Sure.
That's all you're looking for. But at defense, I don't think you have to pay for Cancelo.
I don't think you have to, no. I'm definitely not playing Walker if he starts, though.
Why not?
I mean, what is the difference? Oh, it's 1,000? I bet that it doesn't even matter, to be honest. But
well, would you rather play Walker? Or would you rather play Furlong or Semedo or Alt-Nouri or Townsend or Robinson, whoever's, in the other? To me, like, why not? I'll just take the Man City player. Because at least, I get maybe, a knock of maybe 1 point, 2 points on floor, but, like, assist and goal upside, like, and clean sheet equity. Like, why not just take the Man City player?
I think I'd just take a Man City center back and improve the other spot that I have.
Okay, but you're not paying $4,600 for John Stones.
No, anyone else. Frankly, if they rotate it, it's like even dumber. Like if Laporte at 2,500,
what?
Eric Garcia is 2,700. Like if they rotate any of their center backs, like
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice. I was just like, okay, well, the reason why I didn't notice. Because I could still play all the guys.
Yeah, because it didn't even matter, right?
So what does it matter? But like, yeah, if one of those guys are in, like, why not just you take them? And now you're paying up for Ederson, right? And you're playing you
have 6 again.
Why not play 7 of these guys? They just won't let me play 7.
Right. I mean, it's like if Garcia or Laporte starts, like. Their center backs on Man City, like I think they'll be popular in cash because you can pay down. But like I love that there are going to be people like I don't know if I want to play a center back because like Kieran Gibbs is only 2,800, and he's a fullback, and it's like if Nathaniel Klein starts, like
right Joel Ward. Oh, I need to pay up $3,500 for Joel Ward instead of taking Americ Laporte and min price.
Right.
Or Tyreek Mitchell. He's 4,000 in a fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, his floor is 4 points, just like anything else. So who cares?
You basically have to make the argument that because those games are low scoring, like he has decent clean sheet odds, but like they're not even remotely close to the Man City clean sheet odds, so it doesn't even matter.
The only reason that you wouldn't be playing that cheap of a center back is because he would end up being your 7th Man City player. Right?
Right.
That would be the only reason of like, no, well, I would much rather play Garcia rather than Gibbs, but then your lineup is invalid because your lineup has all turquoise blue players in it.
Right.
And the only way to not have that is to play Kieran Gibbs and a different goalkeeper. Right. Because now you can't even play Ederson.
So, well, before we get to goalkeeper, the only thing I was considering in terms of defense is I think I like Joe Bryan at 4,400 if he started better than any midfielder up to like Snodgrass.
Okay, no,
So
I
I
can
would
see
play. I would play him in even a utility, or whatever, three defender lineup, like two Man City defenders and Joe Bryan. But like, so I was saying in my article, like Ederson should be 7,000 or 8,000, like based on just the odds. The fact that he is, how much was Areola? Yeah, he's 900 more than Areola.
The other two games are pick'ems, practically.
Well, like, but even like Man City's win odds are 85%. And Fulham's are 41. And that's the second. So this is the second most expensive goalkeeper. You're getting 41% win odds and 32% clean sheet odds. And for 900 more, you get 85% and 58%.
Right, so the projection difference is almost double.
Yeah.
Right, so if Ederson was 9,000, that would even be efficient.
Right.
I guess we're paying up a goalkeeper and losing. Right, because it sounds like you're playing Ederson, and it sounds like we're getting we're going to see a Sheffield goal and no other saves, and he's going to have 3 points because they're going to win, right?
Don't forget the time-wasting yellow card.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The time-wasted yellow card, right? So now we have 2 points.
You're welcome.
Right, and then Areola, 12 saves, clean sheet, win, right?
Right. I don't see why, like how you don't just find the 900.
Right. Well, the reason why you're not playing Ederson is because you're going all the way down and you're playing Ramsdale or Johnston. You're paying down at goalkeeper.
To do what though?
I have no idea. To leave money on the table, you could play everyone.
Right.
So who cares?
Like I understand playing Johnstone, Ramsdale. Like there's no benefit, both like because you're playing all Man City and you don't need the money.
Right. Especially if one of Sterling or Mahrez doesn't start.
Right. The situation where you'll need the money is if we get Mahrez, Sterling, Foden, Gundogan,
Rodrigo.
Right. Stones and Ruben Diaz. Like everybody normal. Cancelo, right. Walker, like, but even then, let's say you're not playing 6, you're playing 5.
Right.
Actually, you could probably still play 6. I mean,
maybe I win 10 grand again by just playing all the dudes, except for a one switch of just.
Who were the other two that you had?
Now, basically, my low-owned guy was Stones and Ederson, because Ederson was only 25% owned.
No, but who were the non-Man City guys that you had?
I had Valeri and Rafinha.
Who was the first one?
Valeri.
Right. All right, so yeah, you'll need to find someone else. Just run it back.
I love the way the last 2 podcasts have been us making fun of how soft the pricing is. And then the 2 podcasts before that are like, I don't know how you could possibly make a lineup that spends $50,000. I think I need to take out a loan.
Yeah.
To do it. Which one do you prefer?
That's a good question, actually. I think it's just more fun to not have guys in your lineup that you're just like, are dead. That like you realize that that the true, you convince yourself that the median projection is like 6, but it's like 4 or 3.5.
Right, not even 4.
Right. And you're just kind of like, man, I hope he gets there. Like,
I hope he gets fouled.
Right. And the worst is like when you have those guys and they commit a foul like early, and you're just like, so now we're already in the red. And I just have to like scrape my way to 3 and I'll be happy. Like nobody wants that.
Right. You look at the yellow card. They're -1.5 and going, I hope they play 90 minutes.
Yeah, 90 right minutes or what?
Rather than getting to 5 at this point, you're like, can they play 60 to get to 0?
Right. Just hoping that like maybe the other team gets a red card so that they can get some passes. And you're just the worst is when you see those guys and you like open the app on your phone and like the store turns green and you're like, oh, and it's just like click, click, 0.02 more. And you're just like, oh, okay.
No, I prefer it this way because I think people make more mistakes the less efficient the pricing is. They'll convince themselves that there's going to be someone in a small field GPP that's going to convince themselves to stack Wolves and play like Joe Cancelo as the only Man City player.
Right.
And I think in the long run, that's a bad lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, to me, it just promotes more mistake. We'll see ownership on Pedro Neto. We'll see ownership on Lookman. Now, it may not be much, but to me, like they're poorly projected lineups. So it gives people the opportunity to make them. But when the pricing is tight, I mean, it's hard not to make an equal. You don't like your lineup, but no one likes their lineup.
Right.
Right? So it's like they're all equal. Like it's hard to make a mistake because if they're all efficiently or overpriced, the projection of all those lineups end up being a very narrow range. So if you want to play this guy over that guy, go for it. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of goes to the like once you settle on a guy with really tight pricing, like the lineup, not that it builds itself, but you end up going into different specific salary tiers for everybody else. So you're almost, like you said, you're less prone to make mistakes because the lineup kind of puts you in a direction. Whereas when it's, well, this is a little too loose, but like when it's looser, then yeah, you can just make mistakes, like you said.
Right. I mean, let's say if we had a 4-game slate and we had another if Liverpool was a big favorite, well, now there's a lot more choices of underpriced players. But on a 3-game slate where why is the team that is a gigantic favorite priced pretty much the same as any other team on the slate?
Right.
Right? Like there would be a much different slate if these Man City guys were priced up even just 1,000 more and everyone else was priced 1,000 less.
Sure.
Where we'd be talking about Eze at 6,500.
Yeah.
Versus Ferran Torres at 8,500. And it's like, okay, now we could make sure Lookman is 6,500 and Cavallero is 5,000. And now there's ways to play. Now there's only so many things that you could do. But here it's just like,
well, the funny thing with that is that the goal is still the same. Like, get as much Man City as possible. But
you'd only get 3 of them instead of 6. Right.
Right. I think it would have been a little interesting with the, I can't believe I'm saying this, with the 12:30 game, because you'd get Bruno on the slate. And Bruno against anybody. What's that?
You wouldn't play him.
You wouldn't play him?
If he was 6,000 on this slate, sure.
Well,
maybe.
sure. I mean, realistically, he's 11.
No, but what they end up doing is price Bruno at 11.8 and go, how do you play Bruno on this slate when Man City is so underpriced? They're minus 764 favorites.
Yeah, that's fair. Ah, well.
Bakary Saka would be 13-2. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I'd still end up playing him like I did on Tuesday. After saying you shouldn't play him.
He did well.
Yeah, he did. It was more I paid up for that.
$1,500 too much for that you could have gotten elsewhere.
Right. If I had just played Gundogan. If anybody has any follow-up, you can find Jordan on Twitter at BlenderHead, as BlenderHD. You can find me at RotoWire Andrew. Available in the RotoWire Discord chat as well, which is open for all subscribers. Just go to rotowire.com/chat to join. If you are not a RotoWire member and would like to join, just go to rotowire.com/pod. That's POD. You get 10 free days to the site, getting access to all of the sports that we cover, as well as that Discord chat. So try us out there. Jordan, thank you for that, and good luck on Saturday.